Everybody and their mom are real estate gurus on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So let's talk about real estate, rentals, real estate flipping, okay? Unless you have maybe 50 rentals, preferably 100 rentals, single family rentals, or 100 doors, it is going to be very difficult to run a rental portfolio, and I'll explain why. So I have a cash flowing business, okay? I use real estate for the write-offs to not pay as much taxes, okay? I have 6 rental properties, okay? I barely cash flow per year $7,000 on 6 rentals, okay? Due to, first of all, it could be vacancies, repairs. One large repair can wipe out that entire profit. So this year in February, I had to replace a furnace in one of my properties. And a furnace is about $4,000, $3,800. And that is very inexpensive. $4,800 for a furnace is very expensive, very inexpensive. So I told him, I said, well, you might as well do the AC because I know it's 20 years old. So the AC is coming right after this furnace is done, okay? So you might as well just do them together so I don't have to pay double labor in 6 months when this AC goes out. So $7,000, and I replaced my furnace and the AC in a property. 2 days ago, I had to replace a hot water tank in a corroded hot water tank in Louisiana. So that's $9,000 in repairs already in 2026 on 6 rental properties. If I have any more, I'm already negative cash flow for the year in my rental portfolio for 6 properties. I'm heavy in equity in some of my properties, okay? But all I need is, number one, a huge insurance increase, and it's going to eat up my cash flow. A huge, expense, which I've already had, eat up my cash flow. A vacancy, eat up my cash flow. It's going to be it's extremely hard to manage a book of rentals. I know people think that landlords make all this money, and they don't. They really don't. Now, I have a lot of equity, so people will say, oh, cash out refi. The cash out refi game, you have to keep putting those rentals on the books. You cannot stop because you have to keep pulling that money out to keep yourself afloat. So I have a couple properties that have a lot of equity in them, okay? But my rates are 3%, 4%. And I looked at the numbers for cash out refi. I might be able to put to make it make sense, because you can only cash out refi at like 75% loan to value, maybe 80%, but it's not that drastic of an amount that makes even sense. It makes that much sense to me, right? I'm gonna get maybe $50,000 out to go from 3% or 4% to 7% right now, because the rates are so high. Now, if I sold them, obviously I would be able to take my equity and invest it somewhere else. And honestly, in the long term, financially, it makes more sense for me to cash out on my equity and put them in the S&P, because I'd make more money over time in comparison. So these gurus are trying to sell you real estate, course or something. If they was making that much money in real estate, they don't need to sell you no damn course.